What's up, Broncos country? Welcome back inside the UC Health Training Center for another edition of Broncos Now. Team reporter and host Sydney Jones here. And coming up on today's episode, we'll hear from quarterback Russell Wilson, head coach Nathaniel Hackett, and safety Justin Simmons as they spoke to the media today. Plus, I'll have the latest injury report, and Phil Milani joins the show. All that and more coming up. The team was back on the field today for a walkthrough as they look to turn the page to face the New York Jets at Empower Field at Mile High on Sunday. The Jets are 3-0 on the road to start the season, and head coach Nathaniel Hackett discussed the challenge that presents this weekend.
I give so much credit to Robert, all the stuff that he's battled through those first couple years, and now you can see them, turn it around, getting confidence. Young quarterback that's playing good, a defense that's really sound and really playing well with some young players in the back end, a really good linebacker core. So it's just been kind of steadying the course. Everybody's staying together, and you could see that with them, and you could see them traveling on the road and doing good things. And, they're a very good football team.
Russell Wilson updated the media on his hamstring injury today and discussed if he expects to play on Sunday.
Feeling better every day, day by day. Obviously, it happened Monday night, but I heal quick. I don't know if it's Wolverine blood or what, but getting better. I'm hoping so. I'm doing everything I can to get ready to roll, so that's always my mentality.
Russell went on to discuss the offense's performance on Monday night and how they'll look to finish these close games.
First of all, I think the good thing is I think the first quarter, really the second quarter too, even going down with 50 seconds to go, right down the field. I think that's who we are and who we can be. I think that we have to stay focused on the details. Stay focused on doing the little things right, and making plays. I think that when we get opportunities to close out games, I think I was looking up this morning. I said, how many games have we had? What have been the scores of the games? I think that out of five of the six, it's been 8 total points difference, total. So to me, I look at that as a positive thing in a sense that there's a lot more we can do. We can break these games away, especially how great our defense is doing. I think the momentum, the tempo, when we can capture it, feed off of that like we did. I think we got a big play with Jerry, and the next thing you know, Dulcich gets in the end zone. Those are the kind of moments we got to have, and finding more of those, I think it's going to really help us.
We saw how emotional safety Justin Simmons was after the loss on Monday night. He spoke on that again today and discussed how the team is looking to turn the page.
Yeah, no, it's always emotional. After the game, I try to answer, the questions as best as I can. But it's hard to get up with raw emotion and to be able to, articulate. I know I talked about how big, that game was going to be for us, and so to get up there after, an overtime loss was pretty tough. But it's the 24-hour rule. That's out the window. We're focused on the Jets, getting a huge win at home. And this is, the biggest game of the year for us.
And Simmons believes there's plenty of season left to turn things around.
It's recognizing that, we are who we are. We're sitting here at 2-4, 0-2 in the West, and there's no, put that to the side and that's who we are. But it's also recognizing that there's still plenty of ball left to change our season around. And we've seen in years past with different teams, like as soon as you get, a couple wins under your belt and you're on that streak, you just find a rhythm and hit the ground running. And so for me, I believe in that with the guys that we have, offense, defense, special teams, coaches. We have everything we need in this building, and we just got to believe in each other, block out the noise, and just focus on the task at hand, and that's the Jets on Sunday.
And as we wrap up the top news of the day, let's take a look at the injury report. This injury report is an estimation as the team had just a walkthrough today. Coach Hackett announced that inside linebacker Josie Jewell, guard and center Quinn Miners, cornerback Isang Bassi, and defensive lineman G.J. Jones would have not participated today. Cornerback Damari Mathis, safety Caden Stearns, quarterback Russell Wilson, cornerback K'Wan Williams, wide receiver Tyree Cleveland, and offensive lineman Billy Turner would have been limited. Coach Hackett also gave an update on Russell's hamstring injury and said Russ is going to do everything he can to play on Sunday. Now let's dive a little bit deeper into today's news. So joining me here inside the Broncos podcast studio is fellow team reporter Phil Milani. Phil, How you doing today?
Sid, I'm doing great. Thanks for having me here.
Of
I
course.
did not mean to wear a green shirt.
I know,
I don't
on
know.
Jets week.
I should. Where's my orange shirts? They're all
Yeah.
at the dry cleaner.
That's okay. We forgive you. Well, Phil, we heard from Russell a little bit earlier on in the show. He updated us on his hamstring injury, said he's getting better every single day and, is expecting to play on Sunday, hoping he will play on Sunday. Are you concerned at all? Are you worried this week about that?
Not really. I mean, he's always going to push to play. He was asked, hey, how honest are you with the trainers? Like, will you tell them that it doesn't feel right? And he said, yeah, of course, I'm always honest. But it kind of was a little tongue in cheek, I thought. But we did not see Russ out there because the media was kicked out of practice before he came onto the field, because we saw the Broncos Twitter account put out a picture of Russ. It looked like he was out there practicing, or I guess the Broncos did a walkthrough on Wednesday.
Right.
So not really practice, but he was out there with the team. So that's a good sign. I would have figured that he would have been a not practice if it was bad. So he said that, I think he joked, he said, I have like Wolverine blood.
Yeah.
He said, I heal fast. So, yeah, I mean, that's good. And hopefully he's able to play, because I think that when Russ is out there, that gives the Broncos the best chance to win.
For sure. Well, some of the big news today, Phil, we heard from Coach Hackett. He told the media that he did have that conversation with Melvin Gordon today, said he was going to keep that private, but said that Melvin will start on Sunday versus the Jets. Kind of, what are your takeaways from that whole situation?
That's a difficult situation to be in, I think. Of course, the Monday Night Football cameras kept going to Russ to Melvin on the sideline.
Right.
And he looked discouraged, which because he's a competitor, you know, he wants to be out there playing, helping this team, especially against the Chargers. That's his former team.
Right.
He wants to be out there. And it was clear that Nathaniel Hackett did not want to say why he wasn't. Because on Monday or on Tuesday, he was asked, hey, how come Melvin wasn't out there? And he just said, we didn't have that many snaps.
Right.
But the snaps that the Broncos did have, Latavius Murray was out there, Mike Boone was out there, not Melvin Gordon. So clearly something happened that they don't want to really let people know about. But it seems like they had a conversation, they worked things out, and then Melvin's going to be starting, which is a tough position to be in as a coach, because I do think that on one hand, Melvin Gordon is a really talented running back. Yes, he's had some fumble issues. He's had a lot of fumble issues, but, if he can get that shored up, he's a good running back. I mean, he's talented. But on the other hand, if you're the head coach, you don't want a player who's just like frustrated.
Right.
And then all of a sudden you're like, okay, I'll make him happy. I'll let him start. It's almost like rewarding that behavior, like as a parent, you don't want to do that, so it's a similar situation, so that's a tough spot to be for a head coach to be in. But I do think that Melvin Gordon is good. I think, and Latavius Murray played pretty well. He's a big guy who can get, some tough yards. So I understood why the Broncos went in that direction. But I also do think Mel's a good running back.
Yeah.
So
someone asked Melvin in the locker room today, if he feels more confident going into this week and into this game, knowing that he is going to be the starter, that Coach Hackett announced him as a starter. And Melvin joked, well, I was the starter last week, so.
I mean, that's a good point. Yeah, exactly. I also heard Mel in the locker room was saying, like, I hate that I'm in the media for the wrong reasons right now, and I think that at least I personally, I feel for the guy just because he seems to have been in the media ever since he's been here in Denver for the wrong reasons. And so, man, it just feels like if he could get it together a little bit, that he is really talented. I mean, he's a first-round draft pick. I mean, he can be really, really good. So, you just hope that they're able to figure this thing out with him, because I do think for this Broncos offense, for it to be as effective as it wants to be, it needs the ground game to get going.
Absolutely.
We haven't seen that at all this year. It's been just such a struggle. And for them to really get going the way they want to, they have to be able to run the football.
Well, Phil, looking at another guy on this offense, we saw Greg Dulcich finally on Monday night, recorded his first touchdown, first career game, an exciting night for him. Just overall, what do you think about his performance and what he adds to this offense?
Not only was it his first game ever, but he's playing back home. I mean, he's
good
from
point.
Los Angeles.
He said a lot of his family was there.
Yeah, I mean, how awesome is that?
Cool.
He clearly gives the Broncos something they've been missing, at that tight end position. He seems to be what we thought he was going to be, fast, explosive kind of guy who gives Russell Wilson another weapon out there. And the touchdown, it was a broken play. Like, he was just wide open, but you could just tell he's got some bursts there. And even after he caught the ball, he just went right into the end zone. So I feel happy for him because I think as a rookie, it's got to really suck to be injured and not be there with your team.
Right. Absolutely.
You feel like, hey, I'm a rookie. I'm supposed to be learning. I'm supposed to be grinding out there. I'm supposed to be doing all these things as a rookie. And he just wasn't able to do that. So it looked like he stayed in his playbook. It looked like he was doing his homework. It looked like he was just able to step in and take over that role. And of course, he still needs to work on his blocking. That's not where, if he wants to be that type of a tight end who can do both, he's got to work on that area. But in terms of pass catching and being that explosive guy, he is that. So that's exciting. And plus, everybody talks about his hair, but it's pretty awesome.
It is awesome. He has some great hair.
And he's a nice guy. I mean,
he is,
walking around the facility, you see him in the cafeteria. He always says, hey, what's going on? I like guys like that who are a little more personable. And
for sure.
I feel happy for him. So
exciting night for him. Well, Phil, we heard from Justin Simmons earlier in the show as well. He talked on press today. We know Justin Simmons very well. He's always so optimistic, but we saw how emotional he was following the game on Monday night. And he talked a little bit about that today, but said there's still so much season left that he's still really confident that this team can turn it around.
Said it's tough because last week he said this is a must-win game.
Yeah.
And then they lost the must-win game. So what does that? I mean, in his mind, that was must-win, and they lost. So I think you understand why he was frustrated.
For sure.
Of course, he said it's a must-win game to get the team, locked in and focused and stuff like that. But yeah, I think that for guys like Justin Simmons, Cortland Sutton, players who've been here for 4, 5, 6, 7 years like that. I think that you felt like, okay, this year things are going to be different.
Right.
They've experienced so much losing and tough seasons and that kind of thing where it becomes tough to give it your all, and you're putting your body on the line. You're working out every day in the off season, the training camp, of course they get paid to do this. It's their job, but just from an emotional standpoint, they put their heart and soul into this. And then when you just lose the games, it can just wear on you. They're human beings.
Right.
And so the notion was okay, they just need a quarterback. Once they get that quarterback, this team's going to be really good. The Broncos trade for Russell Wilson, and it hasn't been like anybody thought it was going to be.
Yeah.
I'm sure that, obviously the fans have been discouraged, but inside the locker room, they must be the same way, where they felt like, okay, things are going to be different. And so when they've struggled the way they have, it's got to be frustrating and just kind of like you let the air out of the balloon a little bit.
Yeah.
So I agree, though, that they still have a lot of season left to play. If they can somehow get to the bye week 4-4, then all of a sudden maybe you do a reset. The schedule, of course, gets a lot harder, but maybe they could get on a roll. It's a weird feeling because with Russ, you feel like, okay, maybe if it just clicks, they can take off. And this defense has been playing so well. So you feel like that. But then what you're seeing week after week after week, it's not that. So you're just in a tough spot where you just got to keep going. You got to keep attacking it. You hear Russell Wilson say he's still so confident.
Yeah.
That's the only way you can do it because there is a lot of season left. And so they're going to have to go out there and put their best foot forward every single week. And who knows what'll happen.
It's going to be another tough matchup this weekend as well. The Jets are 3-0 on the road to start the season. They've been looking really good the past couple of weeks. What are your hopes for Sunday?
Gosh, I think that for the Broncos offense, they've got to protect whoever's in at quarterback. And if it's Russell Wilson, even that much more so because this Jets defensive line, Quinnen Williams, the leader there, they're going to get after the quarterback. They're going to make it really difficult to run the ball. You saw how much trouble they gave Aaron Rodgers last week in Green Bay. I just think that they're going to have to find a way to get either the ball out of Russ's hand faster, get a running game going, or I don't know how healthy, if Russ is going to be able to move out of the pocket at all. They're going to have to figure out ways to protect the quarterback, because that was a problem against the Chargers, 4 sacks. That was a problem against the Colts, 4 sacks.
Right.
I mean, Russ can't be getting sacked 4 times a game. So they're going to have to figure out a way to protect him. And I think that is the first thing when you face this Jets team. The second thing, you can't turn the ball over. I mean, Sauce Gardner, Hackett was asked about him today and just said, gosh, for a rookie, he's been playing really well. You saw him put that cheese head on out there in Green Bay. It got knocked off. I mean, that's a kind of a guy who plays with a lot of confidence.
Oh, yeah.
So I do think that they need to find a way to get Courtland Sutton involved. He had 2 catches last week. I thought there was going to be times where you're like, just throw it up to him and see if he can come down with it, maybe make a big play or something.
Right.
So if he's going up against Sauce, that's going to be a matchup, I think, to watch. Or if it's Judy against Sauce. I mean, they got to get the ball to their playmakers. So they're going to have to figure that out. And then on defense, I think you get after Zach Wilson a little bit. You let Baron Browning loose. Let Bradley Chubb do what they do. Let those guys in the interior do what they do. Maybe you can make him make a mistake. Maybe you get him a little bit rattled. Get him off his game a little bit. And then I think that they could have some success there. I mean, they scored 27 points against the Packers, but one of those was a blocked field goal. One of those was a field goal really late in the game after a 4th down stop. So it's not like their offense is just killing it. So I expect a low-scoring game, and if the Broncos are able to somehow get a few big plays, maybe that's the difference.
Hopefully the team will turn things around this weekend. Phil, appreciate your time and your insight today.
Thanks, Sid. And again, I can't believe I wore a green shirt this
know.
week. How embarrassing.
Phil, thank you.
You got it.
Well, that'll do it for today's episode of Broncos Now. Broncos Country, thanks so much for tuning in today and every day. Hope you meet me right back here on the Broncos Podcast Network and YouTube for another episode tomorrow. I'll see you all then.